against her.
Yeah.
That was a little bit. I mean, it's tragic,
Yeah.
but it was the way it was written. I thought was a little romanticized. I don't know what to call it. It just struck
didn't
me
work
as
for you. Yeah.
didn't work for me. Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, I would strongly recommend the book to anybody with an interest, particularly in the history of psychiatry, the history of, the psychiatric movement of the late 1800s. I think it's a very well documented and very well written book as far as that goes.
I would agree. Yep. So, okay. So let's move on to the book that you recommended to me, which I've got to say it was one of my favorite reads of last year.
I'm glad to hear it.
So you recommended that I read the 9 Goblins by T. Kingfisher, and I had seen it on the list, and just I have so many lists of books, and hadn't really gone out of my way for it, and so I went out of my way for it, and I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was so much fun. The characters were enjoyable. They were weird and enjoyable, and the whole journey was fun, and the world building was well done. I liked the fact that the wizards are all kind of mad.
Oh, I liked that. I thought I was a little disappointed in the ending, but otherwise, this idea that if you get this big power, you're going to go crazy.
Yeah,
it
ruins
really
your
makes
noodle. Yeah. But the goblins were so entertaining. I don't want to spoil it too much. But
no, but anybody who's ever been
in the
position in the military of herding cats or trying to deal with not so bright recruits will just feel for poor Sergeant Nisi. I mean, it was just like,
yeah. You
my
can
God.
totally relate. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And not to be a spoiler, just remember the teddy bear.
Yeah, the teddy bear. It was so, it was great. Oh. Anyway, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the writing was solid. I would agree that the ending, but I don't know what else you could have done with that
I don't think
ending.
you could have done much. And again, this wasn't a serious fantasy book. This is
It's a cozy,
fun
it's a
fantasy
kind of a
book.
cozy, it's a cozy
Yeah,
fantasy.
it's-
I would love to see more with those
with those characters? My
with those
God,
goblins.
yes.
I mean, they were so much fun to hang out with.
With the goblin and the elf who treats the animals.
Yeah. Yes, the elf veterinarian, if you will.
Yes.
The animal doctor. Oh, yeah. So that was a really great read. So I guess before we meet next time, we will have to come up with additional recommendations
yes.
to discuss on our next episode. So we'll have to. I think we'll have to discuss that. I think I've already given you one that I think that we can
Yes,
talk about. So
I really am looking forward to Strange Practice.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
I think that's the one I would recommend. So.
Trying to think of what.
Yeah, please don't tell me it's the history of the Roman
No.
Empire.
I wouldn't do that to you, Sharon. I really wouldn't do that to you.
I will say that you threw out, at one episode, you threw out that I should read Orphan X, and I did, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So something
more
entertaining-
along those lines
something more
might be.
entertaining.
Yes, I get it. I'll have to look through my list and come up with a good recommendation
Yeah,
for
and
you.
then we can talk
I
about it.
haven't read. I gotta say, I haven't read a whole lot of fantasy and science fiction in the last couple of months.
Well, it can be anything from last year that I haven't read.
And
if you want.
I mean, the one that stands out is it's pure space opera, but it's the Grimm's War series. If you didn't like Honor Harrington, you won't like this. And I know you weren't a big fan of Honor Harrington.
Well, we can discuss.
It's a whole series of books, but and
Well, I don't know if I want to read a whole series before.
no,
we get to our
the
next
first one
podcast.
the first one is
I mean,
good,
I could, but
the first one is good, but it is very fanficky for
Okay.
Weber.
okay.
I have to admit that. So I'll come up with a
Fair.
good recommendation. There've
All
been a couple of other ones that I thought were just weird enough. So we'll see.
All right, that's fair. Well, anything else you want to talk about before we close out tonight, Bruce? What's on your mind?
I have been.
Yeah, what are you writing?
Well, my work in progress is another in the Prophet Logbook series. You have my recent Quality of Mercy.
Yes, which I read and is in the queue for Brick Cave now. It's yeah.
That was kind of my last, I don't know what to call it, labor of love. Prophet is a comfortable place to go back to, and so I'm in that, and it's a good story so far. It's got a lot of kidnapping and skullduggery and the usual kind of things.
Good.
I kill off one of my main characters. That's
That's
it's a little tragic, but
Okay.
You had told me more than a year ago in discussing one of the other Prophet series that somebody had to die.
Somebody needs to die. I know. It's sad but true. I probably did say that.
I didn't kill Deuce. I just had him get married. And
Yes, and that was good. I mean, that was kind of a death for me anyway when we lost Deuce. I mean,
well, Deuce is back in this one. He's just now married and has to think about how he handles things.
Nice. I like that. I love that for him, actually.
Yeah.
I can just see that for him.
It's like, well, wait a minute. I can't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I got to take... Ingrid's got a soccer game that day, Yeah, I'm actually kind of casting about for another big theme, and I haven't come up with anything yet.
Okay.
I go through these periods of I'll write, well, with the Magic Law series, that was a thing that I had to finish.
Yeah.
And I'm not unhappy with what I did. It was quite satisfying. Prophet I can always come back to just, hey, yeah, here's a neat story. I'm just going to dash this off.
Yeah.
Quality of Mercy was a theme book. And I'm looking for another one.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely a standalone at this point.
I wouldn't go back there.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on in it, and I really enjoyed it. I think readers will really appreciate it, the exploration that you do in that. So, yeah.
So we'll see. How about you? How's it going? I know
mostly-
you've been struggling over the last
Yeah,
couple
no,
months.
I'm actually I've made some progress, but on the one book, but I've also been working on some short stuff.
Mhm.
So I had some short stuff in the works, and so that's kind of where I'm at right now, because that's kind of my go-to to kind of clean the drains, if you will, is short fiction and flash fiction, and so that's where
I know you feel committed to getting that sequel book done.
at some point, yeah.
But did you ever think maybe just put it away?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's what I did with Prophet Motives for like 3 years.
Well, it's been a couple of years that I've
I
been
know.
trying to get it done, so yeah.
Usually I find when that happens to me, I'm either trying to tell the same story again, or I'm trying to get characters to do things they really don't want to do.
Well, and that's the challenge right now, is that I figured out that it's not that I'm trying to get a character to do something that they don't want to do so much as I realized that I didn't give my character enough, I didn't put enough stuff in my character's way in that section of the book. So that much I have figured out, and I think I know what I'm going to do to fix that. Going to the conference helped me also do some deep thinking about my writing and where I'm at with it. And I wrote some short stuff there that I really liked. So, yeah, so I think I'm just going to focus. I got an invitation to do the next anthology for Brick Cave. So,
yes, so did I.
That's on my list. And then the Portal Expanse piece that Brick Cave is planning to develop, which is still under development. And they're still figuring it out.
I'm just waiting for a go-ahead. a theme.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
where do you want me to go with this?
So we got some short stuff that we are working on.
I'm actually kind of.
But I went to one of the sessions I went to in New York was graphic novel, because I'm back on the whole idea that one story wants to be a graphic novel, and I keep stopping on that new book because I think it wants to be a graphic novel, and so I am going to circle back to that as well, because I just really like that world, and I really like those characters, and I think they're super solid. And even if I just write it as a script for a graphic novel, I can then flesh it out if I want to turn it into a book.
That's it's a genre that I've just never even thought of exploring.
It just seems to be the right fit right now for that story, because it's so weird. It's just so weird.
I get it. It's just, again,
Yeah.
I do tend to write cinematically, if you will.
Well, and I typically
But-
do too, but this doesn't want to go there.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. There's a big leap between cinematic conventions, cinematic scene shifts, and the things like that, and then taking that into, say, script writing. And graphic novel is very much like script writing for.
It's really a combo of comic book and screenplay.
Yeah.
Is really what it is, and that's kind of the gist of it. And so I wanted to go to that session because the person presenting it is a publisher of graphic novels, and they're
Right.
looking for
Graphic
graphic
novels.
novels. So, I thought, okay, I'm going to go to this, and I didn't learn a whole lot that I didn't already know, but I got a couple of gems out of it that will help me with it. So there you go.
It certainly is the rising thing these days.
It is very popular right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, I guess we're done.
We're
for
done
this
for the day.
episode.
And thank you again, everyone, for listening to this edition of the Brick Cave Podcast. Anytime you'd like to hear us, just join us online at brickcavepodcast.com, all one word. Our BC Book Club members can enjoy extra episodes and other great advantages, such as
Free books.
Details on the Brick Cave website, brickcave.media. Thanks again, everybody, for listening, and we'll drop in again soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.